And welcome back to what I guess is day 11, but technically the last day of Eldritch Moon spoiler days. Tomorrow we get the full set revealed. In fact, I'll probably be checking the website, the Wizard of the Coast, after midnight for a little bit to see if it updates or not. But the point is that we have our final day of general spoilers. Then we get the full list spoiled tomorrow. I'll see about doing some final videos on that when I get to that. But moving on, but let's stay with what we have. Now we got the card to use for the thumbnail. We'll get to that. It obviously reveals how the story ends. But let's talk about a few other cards that popped up. One popped up actually last night I didn't get to. So we have Wolfkin Bond. Now this is a 4 generic, 1 green mana. Enchantment aura. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and you put a 2/2 green wolf creature token into the battlefield. And there's the... Whoa. What the... Okay, sorry. I thought the camera was being slow on me for a second. There it is. There's the art. Guy with his wolf companion. Eyes are glowing green. Lots of fun stuff. In terms of the card, I mean... Whoops. Man. Downside of that. Down was just digging up the art a little bit. In terms of the card itself, it's okay. You'll get a token out of it. It really is more for the token than it is for the body. The increase is just kind of a bonus. It's for a common, it's fine for a common. If this were like an uncommon, I would expect to be maybe a mana lower, but whatever, it's all right. Now, I think it's like Return Resurgent, something like that. I can't recall the actual name of the card, unfortunately, because the card, as well as two other ones, two of them are in Japanese. The one of them I at least know what it does. The other one I just don't know what it does. Couldn't find what it did. The other is in Spanish, but I believe I know the translation for it. So, the green one, the Resurgence Suppression, something like that. This one right... This one right here. Where basically it's Nahiri Rising Earth. Basically, it's a sorcery. You pay 3 generic, 1 green, and return all lands. I believe it's just all lands, not all lands you control. If it is all lands you control, then correction, whatever. To the battlefield tapped. Now, that's a good recursion. Very useful, very powerful in that sense, especially if you're doing mill, but you're behind. You play this card, you're no longer behind in terms of your mana. But overall, I mean, you'll find better ways. Generally speaking, if you're not a strategy that's going to be milling your deck, be losing lands, then it's a card that's not going to be worth much. What I don't understand is why we have translations for this one but not the other ones. Even though we do have translations for it, but whatever. Well, we do have this other module spell, or it's a module spell, Escalate spell, that is 2 white and 1 generic, which has Gideon essentially leading some zombies. That's that one right there. And I don't know what that does. I couldn't find the translation for that, so sorry. More than likely, it's probably a solo card. It's rare, costs 3 mana. You'll probably play. It's probably a good card. The Spanish is Auxilio del Segarra, which I believe is Gift of Cigar or something like that. Basically, it's an enchantment, I believe you can play them if they have flash, and you immediately, like, auras and equipments can come in equipped or something like that. It's an interesting spell. I just don't know if there's enough support for it. I know it's basically a artifact, equipment artifact, and aura heavy card. It's used as in. I just realized I got some lag going. Son of a bitch. 1 second. Get off the site. That's probably making me... There we go. Yeah, I mean, I've got it on my phone right now. I technically didn't need it up there, but, whatever. So, anyway, now that I got the lag out of the way. But, yeah, I mean, it's a play-around-me card, not put it in your deck and automatically play with a card. Then we have one of our spirits for today. Maelstrom Wanderer, 1 blue, 1/1, flying, spirit. And whenever it enters the battlefield under your control, Maelstrom Wanderer gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Sacrifice a counter-target spell or a target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller plays X, where X is Maelstrom Wanderer's power. Now, I believe we've dealt with found the card that gives spirits flash and stuff like that. I think we've already... Let me actually just scroll through back a little bit real quick here, make sure I didn't miss something here, because I'm pretty certain we have a spirit right now that does give flash to other spirits. So, come on, I know you're probably here. Nope. 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 Nope, 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 no, nope, 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 nope. I'm actually going to say no, there isn't one. If there is something that gives spirits flash, that's good, that's great. That being said, if there's not something in this set or the last set, again, I can't remember right off the top of my head, that doesn't give spirits flash, then this card is not as good as it reads, and this card doesn't even read that amazing. Yeah, okay, turn 1 you get a 1-on flyer. That's never bad. Turn 2, maybe you play something. It becomes a 2/2 attack. A couple turns in, you can maybe play like 2 spirits a turn. But you got to be in a spirit deck to get the value out of this. And so what? I mean, you're going to maybe try to cast something, and at best, you're maybe going to counter a 2-mana costing sorcery spell. This card is not that good. It's not. In fact, I'd go so far as to say this card's just really kind of okay. It's a 1/1 for 1 flyer, and it gets pumped up anytime a spirit comes on the battlefield. That's never a bad thing, but it's just if the extra ability, I guess, pushes it to rare, but it's just kind of blah. The ability really isn't that great. It's not. But, whatever. Then Heron's Grace Champion. 2, and there was no picture for that. Well, one that I could go to. Heron's Grace Champion. 2 generic, 1 green, 1 white. Human Knight, as if humans already have enough. Because although I don't play like the big metagame standards or anything like that, I'm aware of some of the stuff going on in them, and I'm aware that human deck is like an extremely broken deck at this point. And this just adds more to it. But it's a 3/3 Human Knight Flash, lifelink. Whenever it enters the battlefield, other humans you control get +1/+1 and gain lifelink till the end of turn. So, obviously you're going to play it as a spell, not a creature. That way you can, combat trick it into battlefield, pump up your guys, and then, you got a 3/3 lifelink on the field, and you guys can still be like, oh, we got stuff. Perfectly fine combat trick. Does it need to be a rare? Yeah, it's good as a rare. Overall, solid card. Don't know if I'll be running it if I don't have enough humans to run it with, but we'll see. Then we have Imprisoned in the Moon. Now this is the thumbnail card. This is the one that pretty much reveals the end of the story for Innistrad and how they save Innistrad. So Imprisoned in the Moon, and even though I got it on my thumbnail, you can see it. This is going to be one of the few cards I actually click up and enlarge the image so we can get a decent look at it. Because the art's real. I love the artwork. And, say what you will about some of the cards in this set. The artwork is always fantastic. So we have Imprisoned in the Moon. So only a 1 vault was great enough to hold Emrakul. 2 generic, 1 blue. Enchantment Aura. Enchant either creature, land, or planeswalker. Enchant creature permanent is colorless. Is now a colorless land with add 1 colorless mon to your pool and loses all other card types and abilities. So there's the art. Look how Cthulhu-esque that is. Look how wonderful that art is. Actually, let me just. There we go, so I can see it better from this angle. There we go. That is some great art. There's Tamio and Nisa. Tamio and Nisa. And you can see that the Oath of the Gatewatch symbol is on the moon behind them. That's cool. That's great. So essentially, the way the flavor lore actually works in the way the flavor and lore works in this scenario is that the Hell Vault that was used to seal Grizzlebrand, the demons, and that Avacyn was trapped in, was actually forged from a piece of the moon. The moon itself, apparently from Timio's studies and research, has been revealed to be able to seal much greater things than just demons and stuff like that. And they seal Emrakul in the end of this block in the moon. And it will remain in the moon until our next return to Innistrad, which probably will not be for some fucking time. Which is good, because while there's some cool stuff in here, very Cthulhu-esque, Lovecraftian stuff in here, I'm done with the Eldrazi. And it did make sense story-wise to have Emrakul follow up in Shadows over Innistrad. And we didn't have Eldrazi in the in Shadows over Innistrad, but of course Eldritch Moon we did. I'm done though. I think most of us, if not all of us, are done with Eldrazi. We are. Now that being said, the card's pretty good. I mean, obviously it's a card that if you're able to somehow top deck it, because if if they're controlling your turn, they're going to make you use this card so that you don't use it on their Emrakul. But assuming you're able to avoid that and you get your extra turn, stuff like that, and then you somehow draw this card, play this card, there you go. There's your flavor text for defeating Emrakul. Emrakul is now just a land that taps for a colorless mana. Now, obviously, any enchantment destruction, which there is not really any I've seen so far in this set, and it can take that out. Now, I think Naturalize is still in this set in terms of the block. I think Shadows of Ishtar did have Naturalize. If not, it will show up in this one. Because they usually have to have some enchantment and artifact destruction on at least a minuscule basis, unless that is, part of the main point of the block. Like in Mirrodin, artifacts were everywhere, so artifact destruction was a thing. Enchantment destruction was a thing in Theros because of so much enchantment flavor. More likely, we're going to get more artifact destruction in Kaladesh because that seems to be very artificer artifact heavy. Not Mirrodin levels, but still artifact heavy. And I'll do a video when this is all said and done with the Eldritch Moon stuff on what I think might happen with Kaladesh, like what Planeswalkers might see, things along those lines. But yeah, overall the cards are very good. It's a very good card. You're done. This thing basically says, oh, you're in a rest. You stop activated abilities and attacking. I turned them into something completely. All they can do now is tap for a colorless mana. They can't even tap for a generic mana. They can't tap for anything but what I tell them to tap for. They got nothing. Nothing. So this thing pretty much says, yeah, screw you. Then we got two other ones. We got one human, one vampire. We got Courageous Outrider. 3 generic, 1 white. 3/4. Human Scout. When Courageous Outrider enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a human card from among them and put them into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So there's that art right there. Some decent art right there, no problem. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Hold on, let me just move that out of the way. No. There we go, because it's reflecting the images. There we go. Art. And just so we're clear, Olivia's Dragoon is the other one, and there's Olivia's Dragoon. So that's some pretty cool art too. But Courageous Outrider is a 3/4 stats human stat. Oh, what I just said. And sorry for the shaky camera. Good for your human decks. Otherwise, it searches a deck. It searches through your deck. It makes you siphon through your deck. If you're not running a lot of humans, though, you're not getting the full value out of it. So for 4 mana, 3/4 is not terrible, but it's pretty much a vanilla creature at that point. It's got no battlefield relevance. It's just got deck relevance, library relevance. Last one, Olivia's Dragoon. 1 generic, 1 black, 2/2. So another bear. Discard a card. Olivia's Dragoon gains flying till you end turn. Solid card, value. You get the madness abilities off. Things along those lines. Good card. So other than that, though, that's all I got for that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I got superhero video to do. I got review to do later today. And I got 1 Pokemon video to do today. They spoiled another Pokemon for Sun and Moon, so I'll get to that in a little bit. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. See you folks in a little bit.